Revisiting Halo Combat Evolved was the worst decision of my life.
You know, I can't even really blame you, though, because I was talking about this with my buddy at work, that I feel like, honestly, as I age and get a little bit older, yes, thank fuck we can save. Holy shit.
I've contributed my portion towards this Let's Play. I'll never touch a controller again.
Where the fuck are we going? No.
Home.
Save. And that's the game. It's getting harder and harder to, like, commit to, like, a fucking 80-hour game. You know, like, it's getting a lot more difficult to do that as I get older. And, like, so it's not that I don't like the idea of a game having a lot of fucking time to, like, being a time sink.
It takes a lot to gear up to that.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
You know, I was thinking about, like, it's a fucking miracle I got through Ghost of Tsushima, to be honest with you. Like, I can't believe I got through that game, because I was thinking about it. I was like, you know, like Red Dead 2 or Breath of the Wild. Both times that I got through those games, I was out of a job. So I had all the time in the world to fucking get through those fucking games. But, like, it's just harder, I feel like, when you're busy or you have, like, things like family to see or work or you're just exhausted. It's harder to sit and just sink, like, fucking 10 hours into a game. Having a 10-hour long game is more appealing to me these days, because I'm just like, oh yeah, I'll just fucking kick it on, play it a little bit here and there, and then at the end of the week it's beat.
And I've said this to you a number of times, but I do not have the same superpower that Cody and even more so Troy does, where for me as a gamer, like, a game session is like at most, and I do mean at most, 5 hours. After that, I'm tapped. My video game reserves are done for the day. Can't go anymore. This guy, at most, I've seen him like run like a 10-hour session, and that was on a Jedi Survivor. I cannot do that. I could not store up every bit of energy throughout a physical year, and I would still be like 40% there to get through a game. Troy has blatantly, like, when we used to work together, I was like, oh, hey, bro, what'd you do over the weekend? He's like, oh, I picked up Spider-Man. I was just like, oh, like, how far in are you? It's like, I beat it. I'm like, you just picked it up, though, right? He's like, oh, yeah, I played for a day straight. I'm just like, what?
Don't even get me started on, like, starting a game with a friend, because once you hit past, like, 23, that will be damn near impossible. Like, starting a game with your friend, you will not see the end of that game. Like, and it's just because life gets in the way, dude.
Yes, all right, sir.
I'm not moving on because there are a lot of doors that we can go through. And this is the beginning of where we are going to get confused and lost. So let's look at the mini-map and let's try to keep track of where we've been. So should we go through this door first or that one?
Because it's easier to keep track because we're tackling the one that's directly straight from the ship.
Okay. So we've got, just to keep it in mind, we have this one, that one, and that one down there.
So we'll do this front one and we'll just go clockwise.
So this one and then go that way? Okay. Sounds good. But I'm sure a lot of people out there can relate to that too, though, where it's just like, fuck, man. Like, you have, you know, a back catalog of games that you've been meaning to play and you just don't have the time for it, you know? Or the energy. Like, fuck, like, you're just like, you look at a game and you're like, fuck, man, I know it's gonna take me 50 hours to get through it.
That's why I'm pissed off about next year, because I've been busy enjoying this year being a shitty year for gaming, and then next year's gearing up to look fucking amazing.
I know, they're cooking, dude. Like, fuck.
I'm just like, you guys need an off year. And then fucking Sparking Zero's coming out in October.
I know.
And then your boy's not gonna have a life when it comes to that game.
Fuck is this, dude?
Cause yeah, I'm gonna probably be grinding out the online of that game. Yeah, just enjoying it for what it was. I've been playing a lot of Tenkaichi 4 actually, trying to get nice at that game because of how similar Sparking Zero is gonna be to actual Tenkaichi 3.
All right. Well, keep in mind we can't go through here.
Okay.
So just try to lock that in the memory.
All right, front one, no buenas. But yeah, you're 100% right. I have no desire to do cooperative play with anyone.
Yeah.
This is about it for me. Like, this is...
I mean, I'm down to do co-op for the channel because I feel like we'd be more inclined to see it through.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, like,
and we live together. So.
that helps too. But like, fuck, man, like the Borderlands games, like I'm trying to get through with Troy, and this is no like thing against him. Like it's my fault too that we haven't gotten them done. Like it just shit gets in the way. But like we started them, we got through Borderlands 1 and 2, and I have yet to beat Borderlands 3, right? And like I'm sure we will eventually see to the end of it at some point, but I just feel like it'll be 2 years out just because it's so hard, dude, to find the time. Like, especially it's like, hey, bro, do you have this day off? No. Oh, okay. Well, we got to pray to God we have a day that lines up that we have off together and that we're not busy on that day off. And it just...
The last game I played cooperatively was revisiting Orcs Must Die with my homie Vince.
And you got all the way through it?
Yeah, we got through Orcs Must Die 2 and 3.
That is a legit feat. That is a legit feat, bro. Like,
you're telling me. With that said, though, like he was pushy for like, oh hey, like when's the next time, which is good. Like I'm actually glad that the other side was like, oh hey, let's finish this game. I'm just like, all right, for sure. But when we did play, it was for like 6 hours, which for me is like tapping the reserves. But it wasn't so bad because we bounce off each other pretty well. Like it was just like funny, good times. Like it wasn't too bad.
Right.
I think gaming by myself, it's much harder to do that because oftentimes I'm like streaming or recording, and if you're like streaming for like 5 hours, like putting on a show the whole time, or at least trying to be talkative, like it's tiring after a while.
Do you feel like obligated to stream or record every time you play video games?
Somewhat.
For real?
Yeah.
Like it's hard for you to just like turn on a game and play it for just the sake of playing it? Fuck, we can't go this way either.
I did not do that with Doom. Like I streamed a little bit. I'm just gonna enjoy this.
Yeah.
Same thing for there's a little bit of inclination with that with Liza P, just because I've streamed and recorded every other Souls game. Except for Elden Ring, funnily enough. I did not Let's Play Elden Ring.
You think that adds or takes away from your enjoyment? Do you feel more immersed or you feel about the same?
I'm so used to it that it didn't really perturb me.
Okay.
If you told me you turned around and was like, oh, hey, I'm not going to stream Demon Souls, I'd be like, totally fine, brother. Because there's something so magical about particularly that game in the first Dark Souls that, like...
Yeah. But I feel like those games are going to be like a journey for me. And I just think it would be cool to like stream those for me because then I can clip moments where I'm like, dude, I remember how I felt when I beat that boss. Like, you know what I mean? It's like I was stuck on this boss for so long that like that moment of getting through it. And then, you know, when I eventually get all the way up to Elden Ring or whatever, it's like, damn, like look how far I've come with this franchise. Like,
oh man, I like half want to tell you to like ignore chat. Like,
oh, to like spoil shit? Yeah, that's a good point.
Spoil, but also like
tell you how to beat bosses and
like
shit.
Chat likes the backseat for Souls games. Of just like, you're not building right or whatever, like you're fucking like, this isn't even like the optimal magic weapon.
Well, here's the thing, like if people are gonna be like that, like I guess that's kind of the nice thing about like recording beforehand, but if people are like, you were supposed to go the other door or whatever on this game, like what the fuck you do? Like I'm playing it for the first time, like, you know what I mean? Like if people were doing that with me on Demon Souls, where like you should have done this, should have done that, I'd be like, how about you just let me play the game? You know, it's
bro cook. I will say Souls chat is especially like that for some reason.
Well, that's kind of shitty.
I've noticed that when like watching fighting game players play like Souls games for the first time is like they like the backseat hard. I'm just like, bro, let homie cook.
Let them figure it out. Yeah, that's half the fun of playing a game. Is figuring it out.
That's the magic in those games of just like running your head into a wall and being like, and then finally having something break. These environments look really nice. Like I don't know how much further you've gotten in.
I've gotten quite further than this.
But this is like really pretty. I'm digging the aesthetic of
yeah, this is cool, man.
But yeah, if you turned around and told me is like, you know what, I'm actually just gonna keep these games for me. Totally, dude, that is a sick half pipe right there.
Yeah, this is actually A Tony Hawk game. I don't know if I told you that.
I can see it, bro. You can fucking hit a McTwist on that shit.
Tony Hawk's ball skater and just turn into a fucking ball.
Can you, actually?
I can't turn into a ball right now, but we can turn into a ball. Yeah, you have to get the ability. And that's how you get that up there, is you
oh my,
do a 360 varial McTwist and fucking...
Bro's making up tricks right now. Bro, freaking,
Okay.
what were we talking about? All I know that I was saying was that if you turn around and was like, oh, hey, I'm actually going to keep these games to myself, totally fine with that, totally understandable, because, like, there's a certain magic to those games that, like, you know, if you just wanted to, like, soak yourself into those games completely, totally fine with that, totally understand that.
Yeah, and, like, I think the reason why I've decided, I think I'm going to do it, was just for the fact of, like, documenting, like, my journey.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I just think that that aspect of it will be cool, because those games are notorious for being extremely fucking difficult. So I'm like, and I know that it's going to be tough.
Man, the later you get into the franchise is when it actually gets tough. Like, if you... So you...
not according to my buddy at work, dude. Apparently fucking
Your
Demon
buddy's
Souls is
smoking
the hardest fucking...
No, absolutely not.
Oh, we can't go that way yet. We gotta...
Your buddy's smoking something a little different, because, I mean...
You don't even, like, remotely see why he would say that?
No, not at all. There's, like,
I wouldn't know
bosses,
shit.
maybe?
I wouldn't know shit about it.
There's literally 2 bosses that were, like, a little bit tough. I'm just like, oh, okay, I'll just come back to these later. Came back to them later, cooked them.
Okay.
So, I don't know, because that game, for the most part, a lot of the boss encounters are like puzzles in a way.
Okay. It's more of like a blueprint for what's to come, would you say?
Kind of. It's so different to me than Dark Souls in a way, and you'll see, like, because Demon Souls takes the formula of, like, okay, you have your hub world, and then you have these archstones, and then the archstones are, like, completely different environments that teleport you to, like, oh, this one's a castle, this one's, like, a forest, this one's a mountainside. And they're considered World 1-1, World 1-2, World 2-1, World 2-2, and so on. And so, like, 2-1 and 2-2 are, like, the same aesthetic because it's continuing further into the world. But Dark Souls 1 is, like, an open environment. It's not like you don't have a hub world exactly. Yeah. At the end of Dark Souls, so Dark Souls 1 DLC gets a little tough, but it's nothing that crazy. For me, you beat Bloodborne, you're good enough to play the rest of the games. Like, I know it was a while ago, but it'll come back to you.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'm gonna have, like, a tough time with the mechanics or anything like that. I just know that there's gonna be bosses that are tough, and I gotta figure out, like, how they work, and, you know, I know they're tough games. Like, I don't think it's, like, undoable, though, you know? I'm just trying to figure out which one's the good one to, like...
Demon Souls.
Yeah.
100%.
That's kind of what I figured, too.
If you told me you were going to start with Dark Souls, that's fine, but I'm just like... Demon Souls, to me, and I've said this before, Demon Souls is a better package off-rip to me, to start with.
Alright.
Like, I love Dark Souls, but I recognize that it has, like, a couple faults. But as far as, like, one, graphically, Demon Souls is superior. I think what's going on is, like, quite interesting. I think the hub world, I think it's not that hard of a game to get started with, and I think it's extremely charming, so... What do we got here?
I have no fucking idea. Oh, I think these are the rockets. I think. So I think we can finally... No? Maybe not.
I got nothing. Warning.
What the fuck is going on? Oh, shit. I'm fucking fighting off the mosquitoes?
Out of how much you play this game, where are you kind of sitting with it?
Like, how do I, like, where would I rank it kind of thing? Or, like, out of 10?
Yeah, how you feeling about it so far?
well, I haven't played enough of it to really give a score on it, but I can tell that it's going to be a good game. I can tell. Like if I honestly put more time into it, I really enjoy it. I think it's fucking cool.
For me, this is like dramatically better than something like a Halo.
Yeah, and I think it's because like it's an FPS, but it feels more like a puzzle solving game than a shooter. It's like the shooting, it's not like the shooting the enemies is like the main priority. I mean, it's obviously part of the game. Where the fuck is this
Even
guy?
that though,
It feels more like, okay, how am I supposed to get in those other doors? Okay, I can't get there until I get the rocket abilities.
sure.
So now, oh fuck, I'm not paying attention. But you get what I mean? It's like more of like figuring out shit.
Even just with the shooting, like if you stack the shooting and gunplay 1-for-1 from this to Halo, I feel like this still beats out Halo Combat Evolved. Because like the biggest thing for me is like enemy variety, and enemy variety in Halo 1 does not exist. Like the brute is the extent of it, and that's it. There's no like super hyper crazy enemy at the end of the game or anything like that. Like maybe the fucking what are they, the Legion robots or whatever they are? That's kind of it, bro. Like it's,
I just feel like it was more of like a technical feat, that game.
It
where it's like,
really
look how big
was.
open-ended these levels are. And I mean, it is kind of still impressive that they were able to achieve that on that generation.
sure.
But yeah, you're kind of spitting that there's nothing really more, there's not enough like meat
No.
there.
At best, you're kind of going there for the story, but the story's so basic at the same time, too. It's like, it just doesn't... Dude, I'm gonna get fucking torn alive in the comments. They're like, Halo 1 is the greatest fucking game ever, bro. Just revolutionized. I'm just like, okay, there's... Having something be revolutionary...
Actually, I think there's going to be more people that are, like, agreeing with you, truth be told.
There was a time where I was going to make a crouch block video just shitting on Halo Combat Evolved. I had to throw away the script. I'm like,
Minecraft or Halo?
I'll take Minecraft.